Hello. Yeah, I have been not feeling well mentally and financially. I've been struggling too. Peak of Combat did not pay me like they said they were going to. Apparently, no one's gotten paid, so I'm really regretting taking that sponsorship. I was already really careful about what I took, but they haven't paid anybody. I really need the money. With things in this computer that aren't working right, and I don't have money to replace it. I just feel like I just can't get ahead in life. I try, and there's always something screwing me over. I assume they're gonna have to pay everybody eventually, but it's been radio silence. It's not a good sign. That's why I haven't been playing that game. I'm not gonna sugarcoat needing help. I'm barely scraping by. Mentally and financially, I've had a really difficult couple days. I'm just tired of having to ask for help. I wish I made what I deserved. But I don't. Barely scrape by. Really tired of this website. Sorry, but if you tell people they're gonna get paid to make a video for your game, don't ghost them. Why is everybody being ghosted? It was over a month ago. I need the money. That's why I don't want to take sponsorships, because I know how often people get screwed over. Not that maybe they were legit. Maybe they still are, but pisses me the hell off. Get some transparency. That's why I haven't been playing that game. I haven't been making videos about it, as far as I'm concerned. I don't really want to cover it anymore until I get paid. I already barely make anything. I don't want to be taken advantage of more than I already am. The site does fuck all to support people that are actually honest and don't lie. I can't even get a company to respond, like, where's the money? Fucking pay me, now. No one wants to fucking pay people. It's getting so frustrating. Pay people. Guys make millions, fucking pay people. So hard about that. They have a content creator server and none of the staff have said anything in there for months. People made all those videos and worked hard on them. I'm glad I didn't work hard. I'm glad I didn't work hard on that video. I'm really glad I didn't. I was gonna, like, edit it and everything, and, like, you know, it's not worth it. Glad it wasn't. Half-assing the video, actually, was beneficial. Because I'm not gonna see a cent from that. And they fucking promised it. Makes me sick. I'm so tired of this platform. Makes me livid. This site's a piece of shit. It's all a bunch of fucking scumbags cheating the system. YouTube just sucks them off. Because they make them money. I'm not even really talking about myself. I'm talking about other people. People I watch that also barely scrape by. I don't want to sound like I'm being selfish. It pisses me off for other people too. Oh, fucking scumbag. People that run this site. Stupid algorithm. How much banal clickbait gets recommended to me that I'm not interested in? I can't find stuff as a viewer. I'm not even talking about my stuff. The fucking clickbait on here is just unbearable. I'm trying to look for something and I get like some fucking, I don't know, fear-mongering political video or something. I'm just looking for game footage, man. Trying to escape from that. The only reason this site is successful is because there's nothing else that even tries. YouTube is a piece of shit. You ever tried, like, actually looking for something on YouTube now? It's impossible to find anything of value. You find stuff that's completely unrelated because it's some fucking attention span, you know, Zoomies attention span short or something that has nothing to do with what you're looking for. It's really aggravating. And I'm saying that as a viewer. It has nothing to do with my content or the exposure it gets or lack thereof. As a viewer, I'm starting to really hate this site too. It didn't used to be this bad. When you searched for something, it would actually tell you, you know, what you're actually looking for. Instead of, here's this short designed for 4-year-olds with a 2-second attention span. We're going to show that to you instead of what you're actually looking for. Never mind if it's, like, triggering or offensive. They don't care. It's what makes them money. Makes me sick. Yeah, I'm glad you liked that video. That was quite a bit of work to make. Thank you. Yeah, I've had animosity towards this site outside of anything I do. Like, views or revenue is mostly irrelevant in what I'm ranting about right now. It's how the site just shoves stuff down your throat that you're not even looking for. And that has absolutely nothing to do with my success or failure on this channel. Or this site. How hard it is to just find what you're actually looking for and not get forced spoon-fed something you don't want. I've seen some stuff that's actually really triggered me. I'm like, dude, I'm looking for a game video, man. Like, why is there all this triggering stuff and why does it have like 8 million views? Problem is, it's so expensive to run a site like this, so there's not going to be a competitor. Anything would be better at this point. The algorithm's all about just lowest common denominator content, and trying to shove things down your throat that you don't want to see. Whether it triggers you or, you know, you're just not interested. It's not content for you. I'm sure people probably get spoon-fed my stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not paying for that ad space. And I look for Muso stuff for Steam Deck that keeps giving me my video. I'm like, why are you giving me my video? I made it. I don't need to watch it again. I made it myself. Why is that even in the algorithm to get your own videos? I wanted to see my own videos. I've got 7,000 of them on here, and I can watch at any time. And even download them if I need to get them back. Why is it advertising my own material to me? Like, it doesn't make any damn sense. Cool, thanks, I guess. I don't see how that's helpful. I'm not a self-centered person. I don't really get my jollies off by seeing my own stuff there. I'm like, algorithm is useless. It's trying to promote something I made myself. Why don't you show me somebody else's work? I want to see somebody else's work, not my own. I don't need to go into a search bar to watch my own stuff. Yeah, YouTube Music is worth it. YouTube Music is worth it, especially if you're into game music and stuff that's not on streaming platforms like Spotify. I pay for premium. Ironically, it seems like you can actually find music you want more than anything else. If you need help with like a topic or doing something, whether it's a video game or like a real-life thing, or like, you know, fix-it stuff, you can't find that. And YouTube Music is actually quite good. I don't know. It's like they got a different algorithm for that or something. They got a good, like... It's actually been recommending me, like, music I would actually like and stuff. I found some new stuff through there. And I'm like, why isn't the rest of the site like this? You get somebody, type in, like, Streets of Rage 4 Reignited, which is the mod I'm playing right now. It'll give me a video of somebody, like, removing their pimples or something. I'm like, okay, how does that relate to anything I just typed in? Like, somebody removing, like, their pimples or something. Like, why does this... First off, why does this have 15 million views? Are people really that creepy? And also... Why is the algorithm recommending this to me? It has absolutely nothing to do. You don't remove pimples in this game, alright? You punch things. There's no pimple removal in this game. It's pimples free. Sometimes it's... You just have to laugh. Yeah, the algorithm definitely affects everybody, not just people that make content. I get affected when I'm, you know, a viewer. Like, I don't want to see this guy remove his bunions, alright? I'm not interested. I'm looking for, like, a combo video. Something harmless that you could show to a kid. Why is that even in there? Same thing on Twitch as well. You know, people can do whatever they want to get successful on Twitch. But, like, why do you have straight softcore porn on the front page and, like, constantly shoved down your throat? But like streaming an certain M-rated games is like banned. And you have thirst trap streams front and center. It's supposed to be like an all-ages site. It's just like right there. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna shame people for doing that if it makes money. Especially in this economy. But why is it being advertised to me when I'm like looking for somebody playing this game, you know? T-rated game. I've had it happen to me countless times. I'm watching a clip from the retro community, which is mostly people my age doing harmless stuff like playing old games, and there's, outside of maybe some swearing, there's nothing, like, inappropriate in there at all. And then it auto-plays, like, somebody in a hot tub. I'm like, I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in it at all. If I wanted that, I would not be in the retro category on Twitch. Make it very clear where to go if that's what you're looking for. Twitch is no saint in that field either. Giving you stuff that's completely unrelated just because it's popular. No regard to whether you're interested in that kind of content or not. Twitch's discoverability is quite a bit better than YouTube. I mostly watch like high-level gameplay on Twitch, like fighting game tournaments and speed runs and challenge runs and stuff, and it actually has like given me a couple new streams to watch that are like into the similar kinds of games that I am. They have made one positive change with the algorithm on here, which is where it actually has been recommending like really small channels to me, and I can't vouch for anyone else whether they like that change or not. I've seen some people saying, you know, the video is worthless because it only has 200 views. Like, first of all, don't be a dick to people that are actually working hard and not fucking cheating, like most of the people on the site. And second of all, I've found really good stuff. I found couple really good action game channels from there. And I'm like, wow, this is really awesome. They're actually doing something positive for once. It's like something I want to watch, and it's not like an already like wildly popular channel that, you know, if you're interested in it, you're probably already subscribed to them, and if you're not, then you just don't like how they vibe, and you're not really gonna watch their content unless you don't have an alternative. But yeah, I've been getting recommended like 50 viewer, like really good like combo videos and stuff. So I'm like, wow, you know, this is actually something I want to interact with that's aligned with my interests. And there are people that are clearly working hard and could use the little bit of a boost. It's a win-win in my book. I'm glad they're doing that, at least. But still, like, organically searching for stuff is miserable. That much hasn't changed, but the recommended part on here has actually been giving me stuff not completely terrible. Like on the sidebar. I'm trying to be a little bit positive as well, instead of just complaining, even though I've already been very clear that the complaints are less directed towards me and my content and more just the general state of the site, because that affects me as well. I watch other people's content and it's made it a lot harder to find what I want. But that is one positive change they've made. I hope they keep it like that and they don't listen to the people that only believe that the rich should get richer, because there's definitely a lot of people like that. I'm like, look, the video isn't worthless because it has 50 views. It's probably going to get to the point and tell you what you want. It's not going to have a bunch of sponsor links or clickbait or open mouth thumbnails. It's probably going to actually tell you what you need to know. Because people that get 50 views on their videos don't get $1,000 sponsorships. Like, don't dismiss it. I hope that they keep it like that, because I've actually liked that change. I can't vouch for it actually doing anything for me, financially or exposure-wise, but as a viewer, I've really liked it. Twitter's algorithm, on the topic of algorithms, has actually been pretty good for me too. Like, earlier I was on there when I was eating lunch and it actually showed me a couple really cool Kamen Rider art accounts. Didn't get any thirst traps shoved down my throat, like Twitch. Like, hey, this is something I'm actually interested in. Well, I really liked Fourze. It got me through a rough time in real life. Problem with that show is it's never going to get more. It's never going to get more content because the two lead actors, the main writers, are like incredibly popular now. The 10th anniversary, they barely did anything. It's hard to even get them to like appear in just a video and talk. Yeah, that series got me through some rough times. Kind of felt like what high school would have been like for me if I didn't go through hell in that time of my life. I liked the Gaim as well. Yeah, there's the Fai's 20th anniversary movie just came out, apparently. There's a lot of big anniversaries this year for Tokusatsu. There's Kaku Ranger 30th anniversary was like a couple days ago. Deca Ranger 20th. Let's see. Those are probably the big ones. They're probably gonna do a 20th anniversary movie for Deca Ranger. Very high chance, because those guys seem to... cast really seems to be close. Some of them, it's a real pain to get them to come back. they hate each other. Or the actors are like mega esports popular and can't really... they can't be in a Tokusatsu thing anymore. That's what happened with Kamen Rider Double. Phillips, actor, was supposed to come back recently, but when they were shooting the movie, he was booked for like a year. That's how popular that guy is. He's straight up booked for a year straight, like with films and whatever else he does. Hey, good night. Thank you. I'm not very good with Blaze, as you can tell. But I'm trying out the new mod, see if maybe I like some of the other characters more, instead of just endless Shiva gameplay. She actually got some pretty good changes. Spiders Club, yeah, I wish I had gotten to play that game, but wasn't meant to be. There's that new version of Hero Wars that I hope gets released here. That looks like something I might like. Service game-wise, I'm not really interested in much right now. It's pretty much PG art. I'll probably play Peak of Combat again if they actually pay me, for one, and then make improvements. But mostly, actually paying me as promised. One Punch Man World actually looks pretty decent. I don't know if I'll try that tonight, but maybe next stream I might check that game out. Either that or play Phantom Blade. I might just play that instead of Peak. Wuthering Waves I didn't get into the beta, and it's a blessing in disguise because apparently it doesn't have controller support for some reason. So I'm really glad they didn't give me a key. I'd rather somebody that can play on keyboard and mouse could play that. Be a waste of a slot. Give me that. Playing on keyboard and mouse actually hurts my hands, so I'm not interested. No, it's a Korean game that came back recently. Let me finish this run and I'll show some gameplay. I forget what it's called now, I couldn't tell you. Let me finish this run. Because I don't know what I'm doing after this, I haven't decided yet. I don't know where this stream's gonna go. I'm feeling better just streaming. It was a good idea to turn the stream on. I would play Phantom Blade more if it worked on Steam Deck, but it doesn't. The launcher like freaks out and thinks that there's no internet connection. But, you know, I won that contest from them, and they paid me that like $500 gift card, and they did it really fast too. They paid me 5 times more than this sponsorship. Like, way more. And I think I should support those guys more. Maybe I'll start playing that on these streams. This would be nice. It's like the perfect Steam Deck game, but the launcher doesn't work. You can't actually get into gameplay. Most you can do is download the launcher. That'd be like a perfect kitty sitting stream game, like low power and nice and compact and everything. I think it might be time to go back to that game. They actually treated me properly. That was a contest of skill too. They liked my video and they... What was wrong with Fighters Club? I never watched too much stuff on it. Well, a lot of those Korean MMOs, they seem like really awesome from our perspective, but it's kind of similar to like what's going on with beat 'em ups right now. Like, this is still the best beat 'em up that's come out in ages, and nothing else really comes close. The problem with those Korean action MMOs is they look really awesome to us because we don't have a lot of those over here, obviously, but over there, they all have the problem of just not being able to compete with DNS. They have no chance of competing for a number of reasons, even though a lot of those games do things a lot better than DNF. The graphics are better for one, the combat is better, but they just can't compete with the content because that game's like almost 20 years old now, so it's got literal decades of stuff to do. That's what kills a lot of those games, and also they don't have the money to localize them. I'm sure a lot of people in like Southeast Asia and Taiwan and stuff would love to play those games, and not so much over here in America, but they're not able to expand, so that's what kills them a lot. I mean, since they can't expand, they're basically just competing with the top dog, like DFO, and that's kind of an impossible feat. You can't compete with that game. That's why, like, some of those games actually do better over here than they do in Korea, ironically, because there's, like, barely any competition. But yeah, it's pretty much exactly what's going on with beat 'em ups right now. You can't compete with this game. Most of these new beat 'em ups that come out are, like, so much worse than this. In like every way. Outside of maybe the graphics. Not everybody likes the graphics and the art style in this game, but gameplay-wise, which is what matters, those games like don't even come close. The depth of this game is just unmatched. You can play it for over 100 hours and still learn new things. And the gameplay loop is very engaging, so you want to keep coming back. That's not even counting the mods, which I'm playing a mod of the game right now. I think people are starting to get a real big wake-up call to like how hard it is to make an actual good beat 'em up. Because this game really put the genre on the map again. It made people start to think like, hey, you know, maybe we can start making games like this again and they don't cost anywhere near as much as an open-world extraction shooter or something. But then they're like, wait a minute, these are actually balls hard to make. It's hard to make a good one. I'd say the same for Souls-likes as well. Souls-likes are a lot like those Korean MMOs. A lot of those Souls clones are like way better games than the FromSoft games, but they all are like mostly devoid of content, so they're like, they don't have the lasting power. That's the problem with that genre. The only like Souls-likes that come close to having the level of content that the FromSoft games do is pretty much the Team Ninja ones. Those are the only ones that get even remotely close. Like, realistically, the only Souls-like that's going to keep you as entertained and have as much depth as a FromSoft game is the ones from Team Ninja. That's it. A lot of the other ones are, like, very short in comparison. No, I'd say shooting games, I'd say STGs are in a better spot than a lot of old genres than this, because there's been a lot of really good shmups lately. There's been a lot of really good ones, way more than beat-em-ups, or Souls-likes for sure. They just don't have the production values of cave games, but in terms of content and depth, a lot of them are really good, like Raise Counter, GM, is really good. The Danmaku Unlimited games are awesome. There's a bunch of others I'm not remembering the names of, but yeah, shmups are doing all right. The shmups are something that like 2 or 3 people can make, and it's still easier to make a good shmup than like something like this. The thing about the cave games is just they were still like cheap games to make comparatively to other stuff that was coming out at the time when they were in their peak, but they're still cheap to make. It's mostly just they had really high production values. But yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find any Souls-like that has as much content as the FromSoft games. And a lot of people don't like the Team Ninja games because the combat is like way better for one. People don't want to learn it like a fighting game. You have to really learn those games like a fighting game, and depending on which one you're playing, interacting with the RPG stuff is basically required. But those are the only ones that come close, really. I've seen a lot of the other ones. I'm like, the combat doesn't look half bad, but, there's just not enough content. You can get, like, Nioh 2 for, like, $25. You can get hundreds of hours out of that game if you like the gameplay loop. So anything else is going to be a pretty hard sell. Even if you're open-minded towards non-FromSoft combat, it's still a hard sell. I fell off too. Oops. Haven't done that trick in a while. I'd say Closers kind of felt really unique for what it was, just because you still had combos and stuff on basic enemies, but then the bosses were in hyper armor, yes, but they had like built-in iframes and stuff, so that you could still attack them pretty regularly. It actually didn't feel too bad. The Closers definitely does kind of catfish you with the combos at the beginning, because once you start getting out of the level cap, nothing staggers anymore. So unless you care about delay-based netcode PvP, there's not a lot to really do in that game, style-wise. But it was kind of interesting how stuff had, like, built-in iframes, and you kind of had to use them at the right time. And sometimes it was like your more powerful, long cooldown moves, so it's like, yeah, it does a lot of damage, but, you know, you can kind of no-sell that big attack if you, you know, you save it and you iframe through it. I mostly stopped playing that game because everybody else did. I might check out the private server for that, actually. There's barely anyone playing it anymore, so I feel like the private server is probably the better way to go if you're gonna pick that up in 2024, from what I've seen. Yeah, I haven't played that game for years. Mystic Fighter Online was one I was really excited for. That one, the presentation of that game completely destroyed DFO in any stage in its lifespan, but it only lasted like a couple months. I remember those videos were like, not videos that I did because I never played the game, but videos other people did of that game were like going viral at the time. It's the same thing as always, like, this looks awesome. When is it coming global? And it never did. And probably, I don't know if it would have made that game survive, but yeah, it's a common problem with Korean action MMOs is not being able to expand outside of their home country, where the game has more of a chance of surviving, because there's not literal dozens of those games. And World of Warcraft and DFO have a lot in common, actually, even though the gameplay is completely different. It's just having an untouchable amount of content that no one else can get close to. You can't make a game, an online game with 20 years of content. It's not possible. Even if you didn't have to worry about, you know, keeping people interested and not going a long time without updates. Like, you just can't do that. That's why tab target MMOs are kind of basically dead now, too, because you either like Warcraft or FF14. Those are your two choices. There isn't anything else. Warcraft is very antiquated at this point. Either people have a lot of sunken cost fallacy, or they just, like, still genuinely like the game, which is fine, but it's either that or FF14. There's no other choice. It's the same problem as, like, the DFO competitors. Like, you know, hey, this game might look better, you know, it doesn't have graphics from 2004, but, you know, it's got, like, 2 weeks of content, and no real no real life insurance. Like, will it stick around for more than a year? Probably not. It's just not possible to really do anything about that, so... I think comparatively, Fighters Club had a much longer lifespan, that's why. I have stuff on this channel, like online games, that stayed up for like barely a year. There's like barely any videos of those games. It's not because of me. It's nothing I did. It's just, it wasn't up for long. Who remembers Dark Blood Online? I did a lot of videos for that game, and they shut down, like, within, like, 6 months or something like that. I really liked that game. That game was what I remember of it. I remember really enjoying it, but... yeah, it had, like a goldfish lifespan. Like a fly's lifespan. It just didn't stick around. I feel like this problem has only gotten worse with gacha games starting to really go through the same thing. You can't compete with Genshin. Genshin combat sucks, but you have the security that it will be there, you know, 5 years from now. It's not going anywhere. A lot of these other games, it's like, do you really want to spend money on this? Even if you're free to play. It's not ever whether about you whale on the game or not. It's like, if you play the game at all. Time is money. Time is money. It's like, you really want to spend time on this game if it might not be there next year. Kind of an unavoidable problem. The thing I hate about Genshin is it's kind of killed... It's killed goodwill in gachas because of their 50-50 system. That's what I hate the most about that game. Wuthering Waves has the 50-50 system too, which is morbidly depressing because one of the reasons I play PGR is because on my low income I'm still a competitive player. The new beta just came out yesterday and they have that 50-50 garbage in it, which is just garbage because whether you pay or you're free to play, you're still spending time, right? You're spending more time. You're spending more time not getting anything. You have to pay double to get what you want, which is trash. We're probably not going to see any gachas without 50-50s anymore, unless it's, what's it called? Unless the characters are not the gacha, if it's like weapons or something like that. 'Cause that's how Phantom Blade works. They have like an item gacha. The characters are free. What's up, Abby? Hello. Fighters Club was, yeah, around that time, yes. Mystic Fighter barely made it a year, from what I remember. I remember being, like, amazed by those videos, but just didn't have the lasting power. Anyway, you guys can look for me in the credits. Take a short break. Are they really bringing back a Ninja 5-0? That's one of the most underrated, like, top-tier GBA games. I'm looking at this tweet from Gamatsu right now. I will definitely buy that. I think I may have only rented it, like, once, but I did play that game. The new Contra as well. I'll check that out. I doubt it'll come close to Hardcore Uprising, but looks good enough. Yeah, the partner showcase for Nintendo is in like a day and a half. Alright, time to look for me in the credits. Pay attention. I'm looking up something on my phone right now. Taking a break. So I don't know what the next game is. Let me see here. Alright.
I don't need weapons. I am the weapon.
Final crash. Final crash. Final crash.
Spacing wasn't correct. There we go. 100% combo. Problem with Spirit Bomb is it doesn't work very well in the corner. Because you can dash cancel. You can dash cancel the second part, and you can get it launched without using a OTG or a ground bounce or a wall bounce. I had another combo I was working on this mod. Let's see if I can land it. Just practicing for Mania. Nope. There we go. That kills them without using a star. Timing's really tight though, because they're heavyweights. There we go! Nice. It's another variation of hunt kill combo. Oops. Mystic Fighter didn't make it out of beta? Really? I didn't know that. Oh yeah, I was supposed to show the Hero Wars reboot. Yeah, let me find that really quick. So I think I know what game I'm gonna play next, but let me see here. I don't even remember what the name of it is. I gotta go on a channel and look for it. Let's see here. It's Korean only. Oh, Nightwalker. Yeah, it's called Nightwalker. Alright. I think this person has some endgame gameplay. I don't remember if the bosses have hit stun or not. I don't quite remember. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's like the new version of Hero Wars, but it's IP blocked and Korean exclusive, so can't play it. There was somebody else I know that had like endgame footage of it, which I'm generally more interested in because a lot of these Korean MMOs, the hit stun just disappears. The hit stun just disappears after you get out of the leveling experience, and it's just hitting walls. Alright, I think I found the channel. Let me see here. There we go. Oh, that was pretty sick, man. That elite was getting staggered. Let's see what the boss... Is the boss just a wall of hyper armor, or did they let you have some fun? This is level 100, so there's gotta be like endgame content. Doesn't seem like there's any controller support either, so that kinda sucks. I don't know, can't even fault them for that, because freaking Wuthering Waves beta is up like right now and doesn't have controller support. I'm really glad I didn't get a key for that, because I wouldn't have played with the keyboard and mouse. It hurts my wrist. I was already kind of not interested because of the open world, and then they have Genshin 50-50, which makes me even less interested. Genshin has really poisoned gachas, it really has. Because now nobody wants to just give you a straight pity system. And if they do, it's like KOF All-Star, where you need like 7 copies to max a character, and they tie like important stuff to it. KOF All-Star does give you a pity, but having 1 copy of a character in that game is useless. You might as well not have them. You need Awakening 3 minimum, which is 4 copies. Which is why they still have a pity and they don't do Genshin 50-50. That game's gotcha's got a bunch of other problems, even though they do just give you a no bullshit pity. Alright, does the boss have any hit stun at all? Or is he a wall of armor? Let's find out. As Mari Povich would say, let's find out the truth. No, he's definitely getting hit stunned. Yo, nice. This video is from like almost a year ago. I wonder if they have a global coming out. It's obviously like really heavy weight class hit stun, but looks like all the cool juggles and stuff you can do aren't completely useless on bosses, which is a big plus for me. Well, apparently it's not doing great in Korea. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. What possible reason could it not be doing well in Korea? Maybe because you don't release it anywhere else. You leave it in the country, your home country, where nobody's gonna go off DFO to play that, even though the combat is way better. I don't understand how these companies function. It's the same thing every time. It's the definition of insanity. You should put that game on, like, Switch or something at least. Like, why isn't that on, like, the Switch or, like, Steam or something? You easily put that on console and it would guarantee a game like that would make money. At least some money. But instead what they do is they leave it in Korea where it makes no money. And then they say, oh, well, sorry, we couldn't provide adequate service or some corporate bullshit like that. I'm like, no, you just didn't put it in a country where people would actually play it. Because there's not dozens of those games over here. Especially if the monetization is fair. A lot of people are looking to escape Genshin. A lot of people don't want to play Genshin because the monetization is predatory. People are like actively looking for competitors, but then there's barely any. I could say the same thing about Phantom Blade as well. They really should be on Steam by now. It's been out for months and it's still not out on Steam. I guarantee more people would be playing if it was on there. Epic Game Store is not it, man. No one's gonna go on the Epic Game Store to play that game. Period. And then you don't have Steam Deck support either. And the mobile version doesn't have controller support. That game is actually really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It was fun. But I feel like they're not doing the right things to make it successful. Namely, having it on platforms people care about. And then also having controller support should be a requirement. seriously should not have to look at games like that and wonder if it's going to be on Steam or if it's going to have controller support, but you constantly have to guess about stuff like that because they don't make it clear. Korean indie games are starting to take off. They're kind of starting to get some relevancy for like indie games and stuff. Like Stellar Blade is Korean. That game's getting an insane amount of promotion from Sony. But that's a Korean game. That's like one of their biggest like console mainline games. I feel like the marketing for that game has not been great because they focus on the character's butt instead of the actual gameplay. There's barely any gameplay for it. But I do hope that game does well because it might mean we might start getting more stuff from that country instead of constantly trying to one-up DFO and getting nowhere near it. Because that's been the problem with their gaming output is that they keep doing that. You can't top DFO. You can gameplay wise, but then they don't release it anywhere else, so this doesn't go anywhere.
お伺いしますよ。どの武器を強化します？お任せください。お任せください。悪くないでしょう。ウェポンミラージュならばお任せください。うまくいきましたね。お気をつけて。
No, they've been dead for a while. They've been dead for ages, man. They've been dead forever. DFO was the beginning of the end of any interesting output from Korea. But they're just stuck on trying to surpass that game, which is just not possible. The ones that have come the closest are the ones that actually try to expand outside of their country. Critica's kind of a weird case because they did expand, but they've made like 800 different versions of the game to the point where nobody really wants to play the game or interact with it because they keep wiping the game and bringing it back. They keep doing the wipe, complete wipe of everything, and then they bring it back with NFTs and stuff. That's a whole other can of worms. I'm like, man, this game has had like 5 versions already. Like, can you not do that? How many versions of that game can you make? Eventually people aren't going to want to play it because it keeps dying. I can't blame anybody for like not wanting to play that game. Like, yeah, even though it won't die completely, they keep wiping and making the game worse, and they don't improve the engine. So why would anybody really want to sit around and play that? You'd have to be like really desperate for an ARPG to play and keep playing that game. It's a big ask. The thing that killed that game for me was the shit performance in the raids. The raids ran at like 20 FPS. Unplayable. Maybe either make a new game or get your engine off fucking Unreal Engine 3 so that it doesn't stutter and drop frames constantly. You can't have an action game stutter that much. Like, this game has a lot of one-shot mechanics, but it doesn't stutter. It doesn't stutter, so it's fair. Jitsuzanko! Oh yeah! You know what's really dead is the DFO successors. Because unlike World of Warcraft, they're actually trying to make a successor to that game, but they never come out. When was the last gameplay footage of Overkill? Is that like several years ago now? It was like at least 3 years ago. I'm like, can we stop doing that? It looks pretty playable to me. There's nowhere to be seen. I haven't heard anything about that game. I think the last like DNF festival there was like basically nothing about it. I get that they want to make sure it comes out right because Korean MMO online game sequels in general have a very low chance of survival, but you know, like something would have been said about it by now. But that game has been vaporware. I know that what was it called? Project BBQ got turned into the Kazan game. I know that much. Hopefully that one will actually come out. It's anyone's guess if it will. Might be vaporware. At least they've shown some gameplay, but that barely means anything, because, like, Project BBQ looked pretty far along. It looked like, you know, they had gameplay, they had something there, but nothing came of it. They showed that video with the female priest, the monk, the boxing class, and then there was nothing. And I'm like, oh well, that game doesn't exist anymore. I'm like, well, it sure as hell doesn't seem like anything from those trailers is being utilized in the Kazan game, because that's just about Kazan and his life. It's not about playing multiple characters, unless they're hiding something. Maybe they'll have other playable characters, like a party or something. Yeah, I've been waiting for those DNF sequels, and they're all vaporware. Gotta make it like Hollow Knight Silk Song, and like show gameplay frame 1, but then the game is nowhere to be found. It's just doesn't exist. And like, man, you clearly had a game, you had a playable demo for it. Like, why did you announce it? If that's probably like the only thing that they had done was that one part. That's pretty much what happened with Bayonetta 3. When they announced that game at the Game Awards, there basically was like no game at all. Like, yeah, that shit's getting really old. I think somebody said they wanted Bayonetta 3 to be open world, which is batshit insane, because the game barely runs as it is. Have you seen the parts of that game where you're not playing as Bayonetta? They run at like 20 FPS, and they're really blurry, because there's like, I think that game has dynamic resolution scaling. Like, how the hell were you gonna make that game open world on the Switch? Why was that ever even something that was considered? That makes no sense to me. That game barely runs as it is. Obviously, like, really truncated from what they wanted to do with it. That's the worst thing about those minigames. Those minigames are also, like, already really bad, but they run at like a third of the frame rate of the rest of the game, which just makes it even worse. That game has, they were like alluding to doing DLC for it, but that never happened. I'm like, man, if that game had more weapons and like a roguelike mode or something, that would fix most of the problems with that game for me. That game is kind of buns to replay because of all the shitty minigames.
俺ももっと精進しなければ。
いつでも付き合おうぞ。どれや。待っておれ、今助ける。鉄山
救助を急がねば。もう大丈夫。
戦車のつも
まさに熾烈発進。油断しないで。
Damn, he got out. The thing I don't like about this game is these mechanics go on way too long. And a lot of times they have unskippable cutscenes too. Gets old. Should really only be able to do this like once. Like made it more threatening and it only happened once. The pacing of these fights get a lot better. But as it is now, people just try to skip it. A lot of time waiting and not actually playing. You get like minute-long super attacks. Their damage reduction goes, they take like 10% damage when they're in that mode, when they're in Bloodlust. Pretty much not going to kill them in Bloodlust, unless they have like less than 5% HP. You kinda just gotta sit there and wait. That's why a lot of people just try to optimize damage. Yeah, DFO overkill is vaporware. It's Hollow Knight Silksong level of vaporware where there's like actual gameplay, but the game release is nowhere to be found. There's no release date, and then there's no gameplay for years. That's kind of an interesting kind of vaporware compared to what normally happens, where they like announce the game with no gameplay, and then it takes years to see like anything of the actual product. Hollow Knight Silksong vaporware is kind of a unique one that you don't see that often. It's like, you know that they're actually working on it, there is a game there, but they still announce it like 5 years too soon, and they have people breathing down their necks asking for it, and they keep saying it's coming soon. I'm like, well, then why don't you show more gameplay? If it's actually coming soon, why haven't you shown any gameplay in years? That would at least calm people down. Like, hey, they're still actively working on it, progress is being made. Yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong vaporware needs to become a term, because it's like, I think when they announced that game, they actually did show gameplay pretty quick. They did like that Nintendo Treehouse stream, but that was like 5 years ago. And they haven't shown anything since. They're just like, we're still working on it. I'm like, well, why didn't you announce it like now? And had like at least some kind of proof that the game is still being made. Weird flex. Yeah, we're working hard on this. Alright, well then why hasn't there been gameplay in half a decade? DFO Overkill is pretty much the exact same thing. 'Cause they did reveal that game with gameplay from what I remember, and then a couple years later there was actually some nice unedited gameplay, kind of show you what it's going to look like to actually play it, and then there's been nothing. I don't understand what's taking so long. They must have like some kind of unrealistic standard they're upholding themselves to. This game has to compete with DFO. It's like, well, you can't do that. That's the thing. You can't compete with that game. It's not possible. Because it's been out. It's been out for decades.
にやられたみたいだ。
DFO and Warcraft kind of have the same thing going on, where it's like, on one hand, you actually have security playing those games because you know they won't shut down, but at the same time they're fucking ancient. They're really old games, and it scares people away because it feels like they need to catch up on like 20 years of content. That's why a lot of people won't touch WoW. They won't touch that game. Like, yeah, I can kind of see why. No matter what they do, it's still overwhelming to play that game because it's been around longer than almost anything else. It's gonna be a hard sell.
"こんな感じです。いってらっしゃい。
こいらの敵を倒せばいいんだよな。よし、気をつけていこうぜ。敵が来やがった。いけるか？敵だぜ。頑張ってくれ。安全になったか？さあ、次に行こうぜ。
How is New Genesis doing? Have they added anything of note, or are they still focusing on that Minecraft mode, which doesn't seem to be working?
とんでもねえ数の敵だ。囲まれてる。
That crowd's already playing Fortnite, man. Like,
厄介な奴がいるみたいだ。
add like actual content to the game. That's my take on it. People that want to make stuff are gonna play like Minecraft, Fortnite. They're not gonna play that game. I don't understand
大丈夫そうだな。次の場所に行ってみようぜ。
understand their weird obsession with trying to make like creative modes. Creative people are already playing Minecraft, and they have
回
been
復した方がいいんじ
for
ゃ
like
ねえか。
decades. They're not gonna. It's not gonna randomly make New Genesis this sensation to the level of like Pal World. It's just not gonna happen. Fucking delusional to think that it will. Yeah, I saw, but they have no gameplay and release date. I gotta get the season pass for that.
重くて寿司でないよ。
あれば無事では済まないか。
お主は良き目を持ってる。
毒持ってんのか？
任せてくれ。全力で行くぞ。まだまだいけるさ。
That means that the leak for that game's DLC is true. So the next character is going to be Nen Master, FNen, which I think will be pretty cool in a fighting game. That actually sounds pretty fun.
頂戴いたす。
But yeah, monk hard carries. I wish they had Rogue and Skirmisher. I actually really didn't like the roster to that game. I thought the roster to DNF Duel was what I disliked about it. DNF Duel roster was pretty weak. You had a lot of characters that would be like perfect for a fighting game, and they're just like not there.
お伺いします
And
よ
they have like Enchantress in there instead.
どの武器を強化します
I get that you need to have multiple character archetypes, but that was really weird to me. It doesn't really strike me as a first pick. Hey, what's up, Zex? Hello.
"秘めた力を解放します」お気をつけて。
気になるものがあったらはい手に取ってみてください。
Seeing wish lists, yeah, that's it's pretty common for PSO2 to not listen and add stuff that people don't want. I think the most ironic thing is Street Fighter 6 has basically copied the drip feed update schedule from PSO2. They go like months with nothing, and they just keep adding costumes and stuff. And then like every couple months there's actually something worth playing for. That's what's killing a lot of SF6's momentum, but a lot of that in their defense also comes from the fact that early on they made the mistake of making it so that every new character has to be playable in World Tour, which is just increasing the development cycle. Because they actually have to like add like voice lines and cutscenes and then a whole new area. Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is kind of a lot like the heyday of PSO2, the drip feed content. I think the problem between PSO2 and New Genesis is that the gameplay is just way worse in New Genesis, so it's not as much of a reason to stick around. PSO2 went through really bad droughts of content and mostly just skimpy clothing, skins and stuff that you could buy and nothing to actually do, but the core gameplay was good enough that I was able to look past it at least. There still was a reason to like log on and play, but there's people that just play New Genesis and they make a following off that. That's pretty shocking to me. Cuz I actually had a lot of pretty high viewership PSO2 videos, but I knew better than to just focus on that game exclusively cuz it went like months with no content. So that's kind of weird to me. That's got to get pretty boring. Oh, well, this run's over. Worst luck. Not gonna welcome me back to this game, huh? Give me the worst boss that no one likes. Yeah, I'm not playing this tonight then. I can't stand fighting this boss. He's no fun to fight. He just spams attacks constantly. Alright, well, we're not playing this tonight. Let's play something else. So I've already been feeling like complete garbage mentally. I don't want to get pissed off tonight. I'm looking to just relax tonight. Kind of felt like playing that again, but I'm kind of remembering why I stopped. Some of the new bosses they added are just not fun. Yeah, PSO2 depresses, New Genesis depresses me as well, because that's like one of my favorite online games of all time, and they completely dropped the ball. I don't even really check in on what they're adding anymore. I kind of like completely stopped looking into it. It's just never going to be what I want it to be, so kind of stepping away was a better choice. Have they even done anything to the combat? Doesn't it have, like, better animation canceling now, at least? Instead of being stuck in animations for, like, 12 seconds? That's what killed that game for me. Animation lock was just fucking killer, and then they kept designing enemies that run away from you and they don't let your character cancel out of anything. Really turned me off playing that game.
Hi.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございました。
Last I heard, they lightened up a little bit on having the insane animation lock.
頼みます。覚悟はいい。覚悟はいい。
PSO3. I've heard rumors they might actually be doing a PSO3. It's just, is it going to be just as bad as New Genesis, or is it going to be better? It's being better than New Genesis is not really that hard. The game is a mess in so many ways. Especially trying to make an open world on no budget. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've won all the bronze matches. I wonder why it's not letting me do that sponsored match.
Joryu!
Yeah.
Let's see if maybe this one is why.
Joryu!
Oh.
They all died. Yeah, I gotta level them up. Yeah. Can't do that one alone. Let's see, can I bring more people with me? How many does it allow? Oh, you can bring 10. Oh, no wonder. Yeah, maybe we can still do this without grinding.
Yeah.
My heat gauge back. Let's try that again. Power Flood, it's the same thing that happened with Dynasty Warriors 9. The game's not completely bad, but they think that they can compete with Rockstar with like 1% of the budget. This is just not going to happen. That's what the problem is. You can't compete with an open world with no budget. It's just not gonna happen.
上流頼むで大きにな
An urban rain would be garbage because the AI in that game sucks. That game's only like fun to play on normal because the way that that game works is there's like barely any true combos. You can like tech out of anything. So on the hardest AI, they basically have like superhuman reflexes. They're all like Neo from the Matrix. That game kind of falls apart after you play it on. I beat that game before. I remember trying the harder difficulties. Yeah, falls apart real quick. Let's just put something in the game that's clearly meant for like, you know, for like the PvP, but then it kind of doesn't work because the AI just does it like frame one all the time. Alright, I gotta level up my gadgets. Alright, let's get some more money really quick.
いや 覚悟はいいな 覚悟はいい い
This is really fun. This is like such an awesome mini game. Let's just make a beat 'em up mini game. Just make a beat 'em up mini game out of nowhere. They're starting to get a lot harder though. There's a lot of the ones down here that give a lot of money, but my guys aren't strong enough yet. Let me see, it's the best way to make money. I haven't been looking at any guides for this at all, outside of a couple side quests I got stuck on. I think the best thing to do is to get back the heat by smoking. And then go back in, try to get S rank on all those. I need 6 million. Yeah, I need a total of 6 million more. So, let's just go do that really quick. And continue. This platinum one here is pretty good for money. Depending on which guys you get. Let's do this a couple times. Because I got that guy. The guy, like, never juggles. Tales of Arise boss. Hey, thanks, Abby. I'll talk to you later. Good night. Yeah, I'm feeling better after streaming, so I'm glad I decided to turn the stream on. My mental health has been in the toilet lately. So, stuff I talked about at the beginning. No, I just made I made those 4 characters. I kind of don't really want to play it that much anymore because the grind is really bad. But probably play the others later. I'm a little bit burnt out on the game right now. I played 70 hours in 2 weeks, so that's to be expected. Pretty much ready for the next update, though. And the game's starting to get a lot of really nice mods as well, so I'm like, I think I'm gonna play some other stuff for a bit. Explore some other pastures. So I wanted to finish up the Colosseum on this, and then Slave Zero X is like, get a day and a half. And then I have Lost Judgment installed as well. I might play that game next. Because there's not really any other big games I'm interested in right now. It's mods for existing stuff and games I have backlogged. Bad attempt. Well, I have 2 jobs and I'm broke, so it's just neither job pays much. It's not like I sit around doing nothing, I just don't make a lot of money, that's all. Fortunately, the things I'm good at don't pay. You get up there, man. Okay, you just don't want to go up there? It stuns a suggestion, huh? Get out of this. Took off like 2 health bars. Die, dude! No. Bad luck.
上流おう大きにな
Yeah, it's being a roommate is kind of starting to become the meta again, unfortunately, because the prices of everything are going up and they're paying us less. Inflation's been really nuts this past year. It's been like really bad. A decent meal at McDonald's used to be like $6, now it's like 10. It's almost like doubled in price.
いらっしゃいませありがとうございました。
Just like video games going up to $70 and not being any better, and then still having a fuck ton of day one DLC. That was always the thing that I brought up when they announced that they were going to start doing $70 games. It's like, they've needed to charge more for video games, but the problem is we're not getting better games because of it. They're still doing the same stuff. There's still, like, characters and stuff announced before the game even comes out, and it's not included in the game. You gotta pay more. I'm interested to see what the paid content for Granblue is gonna be. I really do think that they're gonna make that game like Muso games, where the DLC that's paid, it's basically just, hey, like, just skip the grind. Like, that's how most of the Muso games, they do the DLC. They just give you, like, missions with existing assets, but it's like 10 times quicker to grind that way. They're probably gonna pull something like that, I'm sure.
Jonyu!
That's what I don't like about Granblue, is the fact that it's designed like a gacha game, but it's not. It's a full-price $60 game. And some of the grind, the way that the progression works in that game is, like, very close to what a gacha game would be like. It's like having a million different materials, and then, like, it being unrewarding to do in-game content, because you have to go waste time grinding.
ませ。ありがとうございました。
ああありがとな。
大義にな。
Well, Power Flood, I don't have to take care of anybody. That's the only reason I can live the way I do, pretty much, even though I still barely scrape by, as we all know. Can really only do it because I don't have to take care of anybody but myself. I can barely take care of anybody but myself, which is why I've got a donate link in my pinned message. But yeah, I've already said multiple times, if I didn't have SSI and my kitty sitting job, I would probably still do this. I wouldn't do it every day, for one, and I probably wouldn't invest as much into it, because this has been kind of a dead end financially. Even the growth of the channel has really stagnated. I really feel a lot of that is not my fault, because I've heard rumors that I kind of believe, that like the older your channel is, the less likely they are to recommend it, which would explain why I get like that Granblue video I did has like 7,000 views, which for something I'm like not really hardcore about and I'm not really making content for, is pretty nuts. But then like that doesn't translate to people actually subscribing and watching. I probably would be better off just making another channel entirely, but I kind of need to keep things the way they are, because I do get review keys and sometimes I get hooked up. Very rarely. You know, I got the Helvetii sponsorship, which was the first sponsorship I took, and the channel's it's worth keeping around for that. But in terms of being sustainable income, that ship has long sailed, unless I get like way more people on the Patreon. I think I should put more effort into my Patreon. The problem with the Patreon is I kind of just want it to be a tip jar. I don't want it to be like an OnlyFans type thing where there's like exclusive content, because I know a lot of people want to support, and they want to be able to support monthly so that I can do more of this. But you know, times are hard, so I don't want to like make stuff and have it only be like 10 people can watch it, because I only have like 8 backers on Patreon. But I need to find something better to do with the Patreon, and maybe that will help with a little bit more of the income problems. But it's kind of hard, because like the main thing people pay for is exclusive content, like early access and stuff. That's one way that a lot of gaming channels, they make money off Patreon, is they do like, it's kind of like what they do with video games now, or if you pay like $90 for the collector's edition or whatever, the Lux edition, and you get to play like 3 days early. That's pretty much what they kind of stole that from content creators, honestly. It's just, I don't have a high enough ratio of backers to make it worth it. I don't want it to feel like a circle jerk club, which is kind of what it would be, because the people that do that tend to have like at least a couple hundred patrons. So it's worth it to get the content early, and people will actually pay for that. When you only have like a dozen or less, it's kind of just paywalling content, and I don't want to do that. I want the content to be free. Obviously, it costs me money to make it, and time, and everything, but I want it to be free, because, you know, I definitely relate to it. There's people I watch on Twitch all the time, and, you know, like, I wish I could subscribe to them all, and give them, like, more sustainable income, especially because a lot of them are around my size. They're not mega rich. They're making probably a little bit more than I am, but not much. But, you know, financially, just no one can really do that. So, I've been thinking about maybe ways to improve the Patreon, but as far as I can tell, the main thing that works, at least for this kind of content, which is just playing video games or doing stuff about video games, the main thing that gets people to subscribe is basically just paywall. Early access paywall. I don't think my content is really interesting enough to really do that either, because, like, a lot of the people that do that are also doing, like, they're doing, like, video essays and stuff, you know, and I have the capability to do those. I just don't really watch them myself, and I tend to really focus on stuff that I would watch myself. Like, I was talking about this at the beginning of the stream, but yeah, the algorithm has actually been recommending a lot of, like, really small channels that just have, like, raw, high-level gameplay. There's zero production values, there's no mic, there's no cam, there's no editing, but, like, you know, hey, this game looks pretty cool, or, like, you know, the combat in this game looks decent, I'm kind of interested in buying it now. And I don't think people would really want to pay for that, and I wouldn't feel right paywalling it either. I know I can be kind of humble to a fault, but I don't really think it's the kind of thing that I would want to paywall, honestly. I don't want to paywall anything, really. I'd rather everything be free, and the few people that can support and want to help me out when they can, but we'll see. Right now, it's mostly just outside of my basic survival. It's like stuff that's wrong with the computer. I've got like a faulty C drive right now that's not working as fast as it should, and then I kind of need to get another drive in there, and those would be like the main things that I need to upgrade, because the computer's still working fine, but I'm running really low on space, and these games aren't getting any smaller. That's why I was hoping that the Peak of Combat sponsorship would be legit, but apparently they haven't paid anybody. I've heard that the guy is on vacation, but I don't know. I feel like you should pay people sooner than later. But I was kind of planning on putting that gift card into like another NVMe drive in here, and maybe just put like a 4 terabyte or something in here and just copy all my stuff over. But I don't know. How much do those go for right now? I don't even know. I'm curious. Other thing I need to do as well is I need to have like more of a what's it called? More of an actual goal for helping me. I need to do that as well. This is some things I definitely need to work on. Yeah, 2 terabytes not going to cut it anymore. These games are getting too massive. That's like 10 games. 10 big games. 4 terabytes, like $200. That would pretty much fix most of the problems if I just had like a 4 terabyte in here. And then just transferred everything off the old drive. I think I'd be set for a while. Let me see here. Give people more of a ballpark of what I need help with. I think that will probably help things too. Yeah, it looks like they run about $200, so if they ever pay me, I'll probably pay the rest out of pocket, and then, that'll make the computer troubles go away. It's still a lot of money, though. Alright, I think I'll do like one more game tonight. I'm actually feeling kind of physically exhausted from my trauma and stuff today. I don't want to push it too hard. I've already been on quite a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are at the point with content creation where if they didn't have sustainable income from elsewhere, they would stop. I'm totally at that point, but for me, it's kind of interesting because this does help me mentally, but running it along with survival is really hard because I don't make much, but I definitely don't see myself ever, like, stopping. It's just with how things are going in the world and stuff, I don't know if I'll be investing as much as I have been, unfortunately. I might have to scale back a bit. It's just hard to really monetize this channel because I don't do things that are popular, and they also aren't something I really want to monetize, so that makes things difficult.
So Val.
What fools you are, defying the gods. You are mine. Tail shot. The world awaits salvation. Come forth. Bring me victory.
I have done as I was bid.
This should be easy enough. Fire alarm! Come forth! Bring me victory! It ends here.
I have done as I was bid.
Defiled soul, you shall be free. Brave. Viper, answer my summons.
I will answer. Like the heroes who failed of old.
You have nowhere to run. Hellfire shall burn you.
It is an honor to aid in your cause.
Egon, I summon you to battle. Take this blade! Egon, I require your help. Your fate has been decided. Your training is over. This is your demand. I will not stop until the world is saved.
Alright, folks, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I might come back in a little bit. I think I should
Taika, were you naturally
eat
adept at
something.
magic?
Alright. Maybe I'll see you guys in a bit.